bridge collapsed. The mountain road washed out. All the signs are obscured by fog. Your only directions are detours. Eventually it dawns on you. Sometimes you need to get lost to discover where you're supposed to be. Welcome to Merlin's Barn.
Good evening and welcome to Merlin's Barn, broadcasting to you from Fort Blanket, south of the Yukon. And tonight we are actually also the unofficial official Southbend, Indiana Tourism Bureau. And tonight we have myself, obviously.
And Matt.
And
Long-time listener, first-time caller, Cody.
So we have the three of us. And we are going to start off with, we got some Chinese this evening. And once again, we are not going to crinkle the wrappers anymore. And who wants to start us off with your misfortune cookie?
I'll start. Yes, I made terrible sounds without the crinkling.
It's a slight ripping noise.
Your
The tearing of my
creativity
soul.
will be a source of inspiration.
That was not horrible. Still not a fortune in any way, shape, or form.
No.
Fortune adjacent.
It's getting close. It's closer than some of the ones we've had tonight.
I forget what I've already forgotten my one earlier that was so forgettable, but I was swearing at it as usual.
Yes.
You were quite angry with it.
I was disappointed as always.
Should I just actively crush mine in my hand?
You can crush yours if that gets out your angst and your anger and makes you feel better about things. Kill that little fortune cookie.
No, but it shot crumbs all over the studio.
Great.
All right.
We've already got a rat. Now we'll have mice.
They can be friends. Learning your love language is a journey to self-discovery and connection. Bullcrap.
I'm refraining from saying so many things because, while I don't think we've managed to be a totally family-friendly show, we have also not been totally horrible. And
I'm trying not to get the FCC called on.
oh my God! Well, we're not FCC because we're podcast. So
No, but I did lie to Apple and say that it wasn't explicit.
yeah, okay. There. So I'm refraining from saying whole piles of things that have popped into my head,
This is going to be a hard one.
and I'm just going to let you
That's half my vocabulary gone.
fill in.
Oh, you say what you want. I can change it for the one episode or something. Or just wait to see if they catch on.
Okay, so let's see what wonder of poor guy trapped in a fortune cookie factory with a typewriter has brought to us. Be prepared to accept a wondrous opportunity in the days ahead. I'm going to go with bullshit on that one, too.
Why do you get the wondrous opportunity?
that was
and
a
I gotta
fortune.
go to court.
That was actually a fortune. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Maybe if we just roll into these with the announcer voice and just accept it, we might get more fortune cookies, more fortunes rather than the disappointment. Lucky numbers for the lucky one. Okay, guys, so your lucky numbers are 36, 6, 7, 49, 8, and 43.
Yahtzee.
And weren't we doing like locating on that a little while back, Matt?
Yeah, we tried that. We need to pick back up on that again. Basically making it latitude and longitude.
Is that like Rando Nautica, but old school?
Yeah, just kept running up in Africa for some reason.
That's fair.
It's where the actual number station is broadcasting from.
It's where the cookies are made.
These are from Africa? I thought they were Chinese.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Thought they came out of Canada.
I'm so confused. We're going to talk to you about the amazing and wondrous and life-changing city of Southbend, Indiana. But maybe a little bit of lead up to how we all got there, other than Matt showed up at our houses with a gun and told us to get in the van.
It wasn't a gun. I had the operator's sunglasses, but
Okay,
Yeah.
there was enough of a look going that we just accepted it.
Yeah.
But that can lead directly into the Cody and Matt meeting story, Stranger Danger.
The theme of the day was stranger danger. Very brief backstory. Through a friend of a friend, our good friend Dave Benetti, he decided that we were all going to do railway/military reenacting, and Matt found us some rail in an old industrial building in middle Jersey, because they refused to call it Central Jersey, and I said, "Oh, I'm available to help. I live in that state." And so one day, a truck with Maryland tags, towing a trailer with Florida tags, shows up with a guy with a mustache and sunglasses in it. And without thinking, I just left my house and got in the truck without saying a word. I think we were down the block before I even said, "Hi, I'm Cody." And you said, "Hi, I'm Matt."
Yep, we might have made it around the first turn already. Yep.
We may have. I think we were rounding the first turn when we finally made introductions.
Well, I was given an address, and you came walking out of the house with that address. You jumped in the truck. I figured it was you.
There was a lot of trust.
There was.
Is this the same truck that you have now with the flames on the sides?
No, it was his old Chevy.
Yep. It was a old 97. It was also a black truck again. But
Okay. I missed out on that one.
With the turbo disco flashers installed.
Yep.
Turbo disco flashers?
He had these aftermarket white strobe flashers with black spray painted cardboard shrouds to up against the windshield, and these coils of wire going down to the control box on the floor. They were some heavy duty flashers inside this truck.
Yeah, they're out of a police car, is what they were out of.
Oh,
originally.
jeez.
But they're great when you're parking a truck and trailer on the sidewalk in Central Jersey.
So that you can pick up rail.
Yes.
Okay.
56-pound, 100-year-old crane rail out of a former Alcoa building.
Folks, these are the completely normal things that we do. Yes.
And
We
this-
could
I
just
believe
be-
this Alcoa building even had a little bit of something to do with the Manhattan Project.
Did it?
They supplied some materials to it.
Yes.
Oh,
A very
cool.
tertiary, like a very tenuous sort of little kind of connection, but there was a connection there.
Folks, this does lead up to a future episode on the Manhattan Project, so stay tuned.
Right.
Tasha and I, we just have all kinds of nuclear stories we want to cover.
That episode is just, and I think the Manhattan Project episode is just going to explode when we start it.
Teaser for the future: world's fastest manhole cover.
Okay, so was that Stranger Danger?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
pretty. Yeah, it was a fast friendship after that, especially after I climbed a paint booth roof, on a rickety extension ladder, missing 2 rungs at the top, and I have a fear of heights.
And then lets us know that he has a fear of heights after he's already on top of the paint booth.
I'm 2 stories in the air.
It's a big paint booth.
Yeah,
Like Kenny could drive a truck in.
and Matt has to proceed to talk me down off this roof on a ladder on top of. Mind you, the roof does not overhang the cinder block wall. So you have to go over the open cinder block holes onto a fully extended extension ladder
I
that's
don't like
missing
this.
the top 2 rungs. And I have a fear of heights and hate extension ladders. But for some reason, I thought it was a great idea to go up there with everybody.
I don't know. That's a stupid thing that I do, where I've convinced myself that the railroad bridge at Harper's Ferry is my favorite thing to walk across. I'm actually completely terrified of that bridge, and I'll get halfway across it and remember that I'm terrified of that bridge, and then it takes me forever to walk off the darn thing.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So, yeah, that was the beginning of like going on just a 10+ year friendship now.
I think we're on year 11 or 12 now.
Yep.
I
And
stopped keeping track.
fast forward to a few years ago, I think it was would have been
Is that,
summer 21.
yeah, it would be summer 21.
I was going to go out to a military vehicle convention, and basically it's a car show and swap meet for military vehicles, old Jeeps and such. Just set up to be a vendor at it with some reproduction parts I was making.
And shovels.
So many shovels.
There were so many wonderful shovels.
And so I invited Cody and another friend David and Merlin to coming out with me for a fun time.
In Southbend.
Didn't realize how unfun Southbend is.
It's Southbend.
When Notre Dame isn't in session, then there's nothing in South Bend.
South Bend, Indiana, where fun goes to die.
Yeah, that was. I mean, it was a post-COVID situation in Indiana that was contributing to making it even duller than usual. But I went back the following year, and more restaurants were open, but it was still such a ghost town. It was so.
For what's supposed to be a major metropolitan area for the region, it was absolutely desolate.
Really is.
It was, other than us, the military vehicle crowd.
I think the
We
fact
saw, a
that
dozen locals?
I think the fact that as you're driving on the interstate and you enter Indiana, there is an abandoned, closed welcome center.
The Unwelcome Center.
Yes, the unwelcome center. You can stop in Ohio on a turnpike before leaving Ohio. Perfectly fine. Very nice facility. Stop there. Because once you cross the border, there literally is nothing. There is tumbleweeds in a parking lot and a chain across it. The building is, they took the building down. The building is gone.
Yeah.
Indiana, we're Ohio Part 2. Don't come here.
It really is the unwelcome center.
That's it. See, my original Ohio and Indiana issues started, I think, Lord, probably around like 2000, when I got the completely idiotic, moronic idea to purchase a diesel F-250 from the 80s that was in Wisconsin because it was owned by an old Swedish guy. And my grandfather being an old Swedish guy and all of his vehicles being perfect, I thought that was just an old Swedish guy thing. No, I was really horrifically wrong. And so road tripped with Scott Roberts out to Wisconsin. So experienced the unending Ohio and then the more unending Indiana. Got to Wisconsin, got the truck, and then experienced the unending Indiana as my truck fell apart. Then I think we shared a hotel room somewhere on the edge of Ohio, and then experienced the unending Ohio as more of my truck fell apart. Those were my first experiences with Ohio and Indiana that made me never want to go back.
So, having been to Wisconsin a couple of times, I'm going to venture a guess that one part of their truck that did not fall apart or fail on you was the exhaust, because it was already rusted away and gone when you bought the truck.
No, the exhaust was there. It was there. I think he'd replaced it, though.
Must have.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I went to convention in Wisconsin, and every single car in the hotel parking lot was very loud. There was not an intact muffler in the entire parking lot.
Well, see, I was working off of the theory that my grandfather was still driving a 1967 Chrysler that had one rust spout on it, and it was a New Hampshire car. But because he was also Swedish, he hot washed the underside of the car and took immaculate care of it. And I just assumed that was something that old Swedish guys did. But I was very wrong with this truck. But besides that, so you guys all went out. Did you guys all drive out together?
Yes.
We did. Yep.
Okay.
And you are an amazing individual because you drove by yourself.
Yeah, it was the second insane trip I had done after I'd had the hernia a few months before.
Friends don't let friends drive across Ohio alone.
We were supposed to all ride together, but you had had a cat emergency.
I know I had some sort of emergency
Yeah,
come
you
up.
had to take a cat to the vet, and so you said, "Oh, I'll just drive out the next day," because we still met here to load up because we left
did.
my van here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I
Because
forgot
I
about
went
that.
and picked up David, and then we still all met here to convoy west.
I think my original thinking was just fell under my usual thought process of I'd just driven to Xenia, Ohio, and back 2 months before. In fact, 2021, I was in Ohio way, way, way more than I ever want to be. And I apologize to any listeners in Ohio. I know there are wonderful spots in Ohio, but I just keep driving across it, and it's endless. And it makes me sad. So yeah, this is my second Ohio run. I did fine on the way. I did fine on the way out, and you guys have gotten set up at the show. And I don't know if there were any amazing experiences before I got out there, or
I mean, there was good shopping, but there was nothing. Yeah, I think
you had good shopping because nothing was open when I was there.
at
Found
the
those ammo
show.
crates.
Oh, at the show. Okay.
At the show,
cool.
we had good shopping.
Yeah, it was only at the show because there was the $5 ammo crates.
Yeah.
Um,
There was outside of the show. We got some Domino's and watched Blues Brothers.
yeah, because I had never seen Blues Brothers,
All right.
and that's when we realized they were doing everybody dirty with the signs. Because the highway signs, the miles to Chicago, the numbers all ended in 6. So, of course, everybody knows the Blues Brothers reference is 106 miles to Chicago. We knew that sign was supposed to be next. We were all set to pull the truck over. We did pull the truck over, but it said 107 because they were probably tired of all the cars pulling over on the side of
Odd
the
number
highway.
sign. That's right.
But we still pulled over, and I took a picture of Matt with his operator sunglasses on with the sign in the background just to prove that we still stopped because they can't fool us.
It's probably the 106-mile sign was probably stolen a million times.
That too.
Oh, that's probably that
Yeah,
would make.
it's-
It
I
was a
mean-
big sign. Who's stealing that?
That's sort of like you will notice the lack of mile 69 signs on highways.
Yeah.
My father's comment on that, having worked on a road crew once, he said, "Yeah, we just got fed up with that sign being stolen, so we just don't put them up anymore."
Same with 420 or 42.0.
Yeah, anything like that just gets stolen way too much, so they don't bother with it anymore. I remember I got out there. What was it, Thursday night? Yeah, I think it was.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was Thursday night. Got out there late and got introduced to the show on Friday, which consisted of immediately finding the coffee shop across the way from it, which was wonderful because I had a source of coffee. And then basically the whole day was really at the show inside that building. I don't think there was anything mind-blowing about that other than my wonderful salesmanship tactics, which don't work very well.
Merlin, we discovered that Merlin and I should not be left alone with a pad of sticky notes and a Sharpie, especially when it's 2 tables of other people's stuff and 8 of them are shovels.
Right. I had other duties at the convention I was doing, so I left, and David was doing whatever David was doing. So
Yes, probably buying another radio.
yeah. So
I think he did.
He did.
So Merlin and Cody were left at my tables with an excessive number of Jeep shovels.
So many shovels.
So many.
So we declared that they were emotional support shovels. My sales tactics worked as well as my current sales tactics was trying to sell my small tow truck, where I had a friend who was ready to jump on, come down with cash for the truck. But I made the comment. I said, "Yeah, I've got to sell it. I've got too many projects I'm working on, and I'm just not getting to it." And he says, that makes me realize that I have too many projects. And I was like, "Yep." I said, "So you probably don't want that." And he goes, "No, I really should get to the other projects." And we've talked a few times since then, and he's said, "I really was going to run down there and get it, and then you said that." And I'm like, "Well, I'm a great salesman, so I was." With the shovels, I was shouting at people that these will make you feel good twice.
Yes.
The first time when you purchase it and you take it home, you'll be excited that you have a new antique shovel. The second time, when you open up your closet filled with stuff 10 years down the road and you put it out in your yard sale for sale and it goes away, you'll be happy that you've gotten rid of that shovel that was in your pile of stuff. That was not a great seller. We did sell a bunch of shovels, though, didn't we?
Yes, we sold. I think we sold a couple, mostly because of the jokes. Everybody thought they were hilarious. And I sold my one shovel that was actually military surplus because I would show it to people with the real OD green from 2 wars.
Look, it's green.
Yeah,
And you
it's
got to understand these military vehicle conventions. It's a bunch of people who are just literally just addicted to anything that's olive drab. So, I mean, you can paint a Barbie van olive drab and somebody will probably take it home because it's olive drab.
But I think in the end, all the shovels did sell.
Okay, that's awesome. Then I'm not as bad as I thought.
Yeah, but not before we did shovel drill.
Shovel drill was interesting.
Yeah, I can make rifle drill out of anything. So if anybody's seen military rifle drill, I've done folding chair drill, I've done flexible flyer sled drill, and so we did shovel drill. Didn't they request that we actually do it at the following show?
They jokingly said we should do it again next year.
Jeez.
That's a good video for the social media.
Yeah, I'll have to find that and put that up on the social media. But then what was it Friday night that we did our was that our evening on the town where we went and discovered all of the wonders of Southbend?
Oh, the incredible little tourist district of the cabin and the random cabin from somewhere else that was built next to the river, or relocated next to the river there. And my personal favorite is the Studebaker Electric Fountain.
We did start off at a really good hot dog place, didn't we? Was that
the night we
burger
did
place?
Was that the night we did Portillo's, or we do that another night?
I think the following night we went to Lake Michigan and we did a restaurant. So it was Portillo's was that night then.
Yeah.
So we had that, and I think that was so we went from that, and I think then we rescued the lady with the dead car.
Yes.
All in our matching jerseys. That was
We gave someone else a surreal experience. We're in traffic and a car ahead of us stops. A appears to have broken down or run out of gas or something.
She was in the left turn lane, and we could see she was visibly distraught, and she's like crying over the steering wheel. She gets out of the car, crosses the street, and sits down on a bench and proceeds to be distraught. And so Matt just whips the truck around the corner across another lane of traffic. And mind you, we're all in matching dark blue with gray stripes Dickies work shirts with our names on them.
It looks like matching bowling jerseys, and we're in a large black truck with flames on the side.
Yeah. And we just
It's quite an image.
It was. We just come out of nowhere, and I really wish I would have paid more attention to this lady's face as we all ask if there's anything we can do to help. She gives us some story about the ex-boyfriend and not gassing up the car or whatever. But long story short is we got David in his camo pants, perfect crowd control, getting traffic out of the way, and the three of us pushing this car around a corner to safety.
Yeah, on his shoulder on the side street. He's like,
In our matching shirts.
Yes.
So, like, for us in the matching shirts, it was great because I had the business or at the convention. Nobody thought anything of it. And then, like, here we are out in town and realizing we just gave this lady a very surreal experience.
Once again, large black truck, flames on the sides, guys in matching jerseys, jump out, talk nicely to her, move car, get in truck, disappear.
It was really just like that. I think we said like two pleasantries, got back in the truck, and went on our way. And then went and...
It was about as long as what it took for us to tell the story now.
Yeah.
Yes, it really was.
So I think we went from that to our discovery of the unending glory that is the Studebaker Electric Fountain. If I've got this correct.
Yeah, I'm terrible with my architectural terms. Was it Victorian, Baroque? What is that thing?
Victorian, Baroque, nightmare, surreal, hallucination.
Yes.
I mean, I'll include all of those as architectural terms when it comes down to this specific fountain.
Well, it was definitely Baroque at one point because they did have to fix it.
I'm not talking to you ever again.
I had to get one in there
we
somewhere.
are shutting off Cody's mic.
But
Cody is no longer with us.
This is
Worth it.
This is, I think, it was a Victorian era or shortly after Victorian era, elaborate architectural or artistic fountain that has these cast bronze elements that are just, there's little cherub boys in like Mortal Kombat with swans, and there's turtles spewing water, and I think some of the two of them were just like peeing water, and
They look like little demon children, and there's multicolored lights, and
some sort of
the lights aren't all in sync.
demonic woman on top going like WWE with a lamp.
Yes,
with a lamp,
yes,
like,
the WWE woman with the
And
lamp.
there's this very beautiful description on the side of the fountain of all these things where I'm just like, were you high when you described this? Because you're talking about these nice little cherubs on dolphins, and I see a demon child strangling some sort of alligator monster creature or something like that. Nothing looked like what they described it as.
No.
And this was something where I think he had gone to Europe, and if I'm remembering correctly, seen it there, Studebaker himself, and then saved up money because he wanted to visit this hellmouth onto his favorite city. So maybe he joined a cult.
yeah. Well, I mean, there's a cult tie-in coming along in a moment here. We get to the lights on it. Yeah, this thing is just. And then, so it got restored. That's a side story there about its restoration.
Well, there's like the purchase of it. Then there's the dismantling of it and the setting. There's the original idea of that. These all led to your sticker that you had made. This could have been prevented.
Yes.
There was the initial. He saw it in Europe. Then he had it built and he had it made and installed in Southbend.
He was introduced to the artist by like Edsel Ford or somebody. Like there was another major automaker.
But this was late 1800s. I don't think Edsel was around at that point.
Okay, so it wasn't. But there was another major. Somebody with too much money and no artistic taste.
Oh my God, no
who
artistic
had one
taste.
like in New York or somewhere. It's like, oh, I can introduce you to the guy who made this
Yeah.
monstrosity. You can have your own.
So he has it put in South Bend, and then at some point it is dismantled. which is when it should have disappeared off the planet.
Scrapped. It was going to get scrapped in
For the
World War
war
II for
effort.
scrap drive.
Yeah.
But it got put in a warehouse somewhere for
And
whatever
The
mysterious
family
reason.
who ran the scrapyard decided it should be saved.
Because it's so beautiful.
I'm not unconvinced that family didn't have like eye problems or taste
Or maybe they were
problems or
tied in with
something.
the cult. Because after that, I believe it was installed on a golf course.
Yes.
And then after that, it was decades down the road dismantled and at that point should have disappeared. But instead, it was restored and reinstalled in Southbend.
And I'm reading this plaque that's explaining all this as it's getting dark, and these demon LED lights are coming on in the fountain.
Yes.
And I'm reading through this stuff, and finally I just shout over to Merlin and Cody and David. It's like, so many people could have stopped this from happening. This could have been prevented.
Yeah, you just look at it, and we sat there. There's like nobody in this park. There's nobody anywhere in South Bend at that point. I mean, the tourism bureau at South Bend is I really believe one guy named Larry who has drunk himself into a stupor under a desk, and his buddy Dave who's just holding on by a thread, hoping that he can make his next mortgage payment and keep Larry from going totally under.
He just comes in every day and just starts weeping silently.
Yeah. Larry drinks himself into a stupor. Dave just weeps silently, and there's a sign hand painted on the window of the tourism bureau that says, "Please, please, please visit South Bend."
And a countdown clock to the next Notre Dame football season.
Yes.
When money just flows into that city
Yeah.
for a brief period.
So this fountain, when it was restored, which Merlin can talk about its restoration,
Oh my God!
they installed LED lights on it that changed colors.
Oh my God!
And for some reason, no one decided to delete the red.
Oh my God! So we're sitting there, and I believe the few people who wandered through that park this evening thought that we were probably really, really, really high. And honestly, I don't think any of us actually do that. I mean, yay to those of you who do. That's fine. I don't care. I've got enough problems with my own brain as it is. And so we're just sitting there watching it change colors, just giggling as it's getting weirder and weirder. And then it just turns demon red.
It's horrifying. I'm convinced that this was the inspiration for the entire series of Stranger Things.
Oh my God, you're right. It was the upside down. It really was the upside down.
It dwelled exceedingly long on the red too. Like you see those RGB, like those color changing lights, and it cycles peacefully through the colors of the rainbow.
There was no
But this,
peaceful cycling.
There was no peaceful cycle. It would get to the red, and it would just blood red for an exceedingly long period, and you just see that monolith of a woman with the WWE SmackDown with the lamp, and she's just getting ready to hit you over the head with it because this is South Bend, gosh darn it, and you better be happy about it.
Oh my God, that was beautiful. Okay.
Every once in a while, I get a good one.
Yeah, no, that was great. I think one of my favorites was like I'm remembering all the nightmarish things on this thing, and there's like one of the little cherubs is sitting there, and there's this. These aren't swans; these are angry Canada geese.
Yes.
Okay, and this goose was like plunging its mouth down towards the top of the cherub's head, about to just like swallow him whole. I mean, it was all of the anger and angst showing right there. It was, and there were creatures on there that looked like they're out of Alien. I mean, they were just like nightmarishly like nothing whatsoever. I mean, I swear somebody had like a really, maybe the artist was just on absinthe, a lot of absinthe.
Yeah. That wormwood will get you.
Yeah.
So, if you're at all familiar with the Burnside Fountain in Worcester, Massachusetts, it's in the same vein. That one has the boy and the sea turtle, and it's really disturbing and creepy looking.
Oh no. Okay. Yep. I know which one you're talking about. The same.
The where it looks like the kid is definitely doing something unsightly to the turtle. Got it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's on that. Yeah.
Yeah,
The South Bend
there's-
one was about on that level.
Yeah. It's just definitely. It's in the same era. Just the same type of.
But the South Bend was like several of those vignettes around the
Oh, yes.
demon lady.
It was way more than. Yeah. It's way
Yeah.
more than just the singular one at the
Yes.
one in.
Yeah,
Worcester
you don't
is.
have this peaceful woman on top, just like Lady Liberty holding up a lamp. No, she is plunging that lamp down into the top of the fountain like she's trying to fracture the world.
Yes.
And so I got a lot of photos of this, and I put them up on my Facebook page. And I remember putting them up and going, with all the friends and acquaintances and people that I know on Facebook, I'm probably going to offend whoever restored this fountain. And the wonderful thing was, like a day or two later, the commentary from one of my Facebook friends about my family restored this fountain, and then how much of a nightmare it was to restore the fountain and how much they hated that damn fountain. I was like, oh, wow, they hate it too. Okay. As Matt said, this could have and should have been prevented.
I have the sticker on my back of my car to prove it.
Yes, you can get those stickers. Do you still have the stickers, Matt?
Yes. Yep. We
Yeah,
still
you-
have the stickers.
And so that was Saturday night, and then I think by had I established my alcoholic relationship with the coffee barista on Friday, or was it Saturday that I went over to full alcoholism?
I think you arrived Wednesday night after the first day of the convention. So it was Thursday when you established. It was by Friday you were established well enough with Coffee Guy to where a bottle of Bailey's appeared at his coffee stand, but not for the convention going public. It was just for the interesting mustachioed man that lives on coffee and spite.
Yeah, and so that was, and so he made me a deal that he would that I could have very cheap, very very inexpensive coffee and Bailey's, as long as I just kept bringing my cup back, and that became my surviving Southbend for the weekend, especially when Saturday. How long did it take us to find an open coffee shop Saturday morning?
A solid hour or so. We wandered the streets. The diner wouldn't do takeout coffee, and all the locals trying to eat their breakfast in the absolute utter silence of South Bend. This is mind you, supposed to be a major city, and there's like no cars on the streets. There's one place that's open, and there's like people silent. Like there's no sounds of silverware on plates. These people are eating noiselessly, and they're staring at us. And they won't do takeout coffee.
It was like something out of a zombie film. I mean, as we wandered around South Bend looking for an open coffee shop, one of the most major intersections. We could have set up a table, chairs, an entire functioning cafe in the center of that intersection and not disrupted anything whatsoever. But there would have been no point in doing it because there would have been nobody to serve because it was South Bend on a Saturday morning.
We found coffee at the little hipster bakery blocks away.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, across the street from the convention was the, world's largest candy store. It's painted on the side of the building that had a full-blown coffee counter in there.
Oh yeah,
They didn't open for hours.
They had the Horsemen of the Apocalypse coffee.
Coffee shop is not open until like 10 or 11 in the morning. It's like, no.
This defeats the purpose. It's coffee. If I'm up at 6, there should be a coffee shop open. You're a city. Apparently you have a major politician who came from there. I don't understand why, because there's nothing there.
You're also in eyesight of the convention center, which had on their signboard out front that the MVPA convention was in town. If you run a coffee shop across from a major convention center, wouldn't you get one or two people to open the coffee counter for the convention goers to, I don't know, generate revenue or whatever the economists say?
I don't know. It's, I remember talking to a couple on Saturday, like early afternoon, who had paid to come into the convention. And who were local, and they had just stumbled onto a sign somewhere that said this was going on. And so I got talking with them, and I said, I expressed my concerns about the lack of traffic or the lack of anything in South Bend. And the husband looked at me and said, "Really? This is busy." He wasn't kidding. He was not kidding. So, Larry and Dave from the Tourism Bureau, in case we missed something entirely, and Larry is sobered up and wants to get us tickets to come out to South Bend and see the real city. Matt's been there twice now, and we haven't heard anything different. I survived it on Bailey's and coffee, and a tip of the hat to whoever that coffee guy was. I'm horrible with names, but dude, you kept me going. Thank you.
I ran out of money by Saturday, and so one of the vendors who I'm friends with was kind enough. He had brought a nice can of old civil defense biscuits, and opened them as a joke and gave me a whole nice wax paper wrapped thing of them for, shits and giggles. And I proceeded to carefully open the wax paper, take one, it looks like a large graham cracker, and proceeded to eat it. And I walked around the convention aimlessly because, mind you, it's Saturday and half these guys have gone home already because they can't be bothered to sell to the public. But I'm walking around eating crackers that were meant to be eaten after a nuclear holocaust 50 years ago.
Folks, if you didn't think we have problems, now you know we have problems.
I was out of money and I was hungry, and Steve gave me crackers. I wasn't going to say no.
Steve, the cracker man.
Yep. Steve, if for whatever reason you're listening, I want more crackers.
And thank you again to my coffee guy.
Matt has restocked from a different source.
Oh, jeez.
We're sampling the 52, the 62 dated vintage, whatever company those were.
Kroger.
Oh, and we have
Yes.
we have missed our mascot that we picked up in Southbend.
Yes, the Moriarty the Mischievous Mifflinburg Marmoset, who looks nothing like a marmoset, but I like alliteration.
This is the sort of stuff you come up with when you're stuck in Southbend. I'm not going to say stuck in Southbend with nothing to do because that's just assumed because you're stuck in Southbend.
Yes. It was Friday morning. Now, mind you, the sidewalks had to have been done within the past 6-8 months. They were very clean sidewalks. We come out of the
think
parking
they're
garage.
clean because nobody lives there.
That too. There wasn't even a gum on them. It was so weird.
Because nobody lives there.
So we come out of the parking garage. We go across the street and we're walking to the convention. And we spot this little tiny knockoff Beanie Baby monkey on the ground. And I put him in my shirt, my breast pocket on my shirt, with his little front paws hanging out, and so he could sit there and ride along. And then I tucked him in the zip tie, holding up Matt's banner on his company's table, and he just became the de facto company mascot. And so for the rest of the day, it was the name. I mean, we took him to dinner.
Yep.
We took him to breakfast.
He went to the beach with us.
We went to the shore of Lake Michigan, and we have photos of him sitting on a nice piece of driftwood as the sun sets gently on his face.
There will be beautiful photos to go with this episode.
How is Moriarty doing? Where is he today?
He's in the studio. He's an artwork for the business now. Like
Forever immortalized with sunglasses, his own Jeep, and toolbox.
He didn't know he was going to have such a life.
he escaped Southbend.
We
Yeah.
rescued that poor lost soul.
We are
Going on a trip to
Moriarty's
Chicago
saviors.
and everything now.
The traveling monkey. Yeah, actually, I'd say the Michigan section, going to the beach and seeing the house there was a really nice part of the trip because where weren't we?
Yes.
We weren't in South Bend.
The World's Fair houses were really interesting. Actually.
Yes.
Those
the
are
fact
cool.
that they floated them across the lake. Look up the World's Fair houses on the shore of Lake Michigan. All of them are fascinating in their own right.
Yeah, very Art Deco, really beautiful.
They're not all Art Deco. The one's the log.
Yeah, the
I
one's a
forgot
log
about that
cabin.
one.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
my personal favorite.
The Art Deco, was it pink or green?
Yeah, it was a Florida one. It was like a pink, and it was
Yeah.
very Art Deco. There's a House of the Future, and
One of those was up for sale recently. And that was, I think that was our Saturday night, and then we headed back on Sunday, and I experienced vertigo, which was so much fun, and Cody got to drive my Jeep.
Yes. Yeah, we
that's after we stopped at a museum. Which was
Oh my God!
way
Yeah.
better.
Okay,
Way
so
better than
it was
Southbend.
it was a doozy of a museum.
yes, I will give this to Indiana. Indiana has the Auburn Court Duesenberg Museum, which also has next to it, what is it, the
American Truck Museum or something.
yeah, which by the time
Museum
you've
of
got
the American Automobile or
something.
something.
it's
Yeah.
by the time you get through the Auburn Court Duesenberg Museum, which is something my ex and I discovered on our way back from Alaska, and we're just blown away with. But that's an amazing museum. By the time you get through that and into the next museum, your brain just sort of fries after a while. But what do you
So many beautiful vehicles.
Yeah, I could go. What do you have to want to talk about from that?
I love Art Deco. I love the early 20th century. So walking into what was the Auburn Cord Duesenberg showroom.
Oh my goodness,
And
the building was just incredible.
$100,000 in Duesenbergs, all on the original showroom floor. The original gilded lettering on the windows. In one corner, they have the original paint colors that they're starting to restore. The original splendor of this building. Gorgeous design elements, and it's a doozy of a museum. You're standing next to a $10 million automobile that you could, if you had no common sense, you could reach out and touch. They're not behind glass.
Yeah, it's an amazingly interactive and open museum.
And the blueprint and pattern rooms upstairs, and
Yes, the original, because originally it was Auburn, because it's in Auburn, Indiana. So the Auburn cars were made there, and they have one of the earliest Auburns right next to the original draftsman's offices and the pattern makers, and just some of the cars in there. And then you get to the other museum, and you can reach out and touch a Futureliner and not get your hand cut off. And
that's right. You had a GM Futureliner.
yep.
Yeah.
That's the closest I've ever been to a Futureliner.
So I guess we have to stand. I'm gonna have to stand corrected. There are maybe we go don't go to Southbend, but do go to Auburn.
If you ever find yourself in Indiana, do yourself a favor. Go to Auburn, see this museum, both museums, and maybe do one day, get a palate cleanser, and go back and do the second one the next day.
Yeah, don't do both in the same day.
You
No.
do both in the same day on a time crunch, and you get to a saturation point mid-showroom in the second museum, and by the time you get to the basement level with that awesome-looking, like Mad Max style, but yet it's from the 40s or 50s, the rescue vehicle, and all these gear-driven 20s and 30s trucks. It's like
The snow throwers.
you hit the saturation point.
I was like, I gotta go. I just can't absorb anymore.
Yeah,
There's
but-
too much awesomeness in one place to do both at the same time, especially trying to drive back cross country.
Yeah, I think my brain definitively pointed partway into the second museum. I'm like, I really want to look at and appreciate all of this, but poink.
We should
Can't.
also point out that this trip was also the catalyst for us really becoming friends with you, Merlin. Like, we knew you in passing. We had associated. I'd been to the barn once before to drop stuff off. We knew you through reenacting and everything, but we had really not done anything together.
Yeah, no, this really was. So it's like you can also throw in like a further Matt, Merlin, and Cody origin story on this one
Yeah.
as to how does the further craziness develop.
Well, because I ended up driving back for you because we crossed some state line, we hit some little gas station, and you're like, I'm just so tired, I can't keep driving.
It was I knew I had after my second COVID shot I got vertigo.
Yeah.
And this isn't a rant against those things. I know personally one other person with this problem. My mother's doctor has. John Novicki's grandfather used to use. That's a section of road that gives you the drizzling woo-woos.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I use that a lot. I'm like, wow, that gave me the drizzling woo-woos because you can't get more descriptive than that.
My favorite part of that portion of the drive too is I was dead tired, so I load up on Reese's Sticks and Coca-Cola, just fuel my body, and I, without thinking, try to plug my phone into your Jeep's aux port, forgetting that I had upgraded iPhones without the headphone jack, so I couldn't aux cord in. And he said, "Oh, okay, I'll put on music." And the first thing he plays is The Who. Not the British Who. The Mongolian group The Who. HU. We both discovered in that moment we like Mongolian throat singing.
Yes.
But in like death metal style.
And so many people hate it.
Yes, and that was...
I did not know this part. This is beautiful.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
That was serious bonding moment between Merlin and I.
I do not have any Who on my phone, but if I ever hear it, I do not turn it off.
Yeah. I was like, I was focused on driving because I'm like really tired, and I just look over, I'm like, is this The Who? And he's like, yeah. It's like, I love these guys.
And at that point, I knew like two other people who knew who they were, and they hated it because I played it. What is that weird noise? It's Mongolian throat singing. It's amazing.
Yeah,
Please stop it.
But it's in like metal style, so
Yeah.
it's got like
Freaking
any
awesome.
hard. It's like if you
It's very contemporary.
Yeah.
yeah, it goes hard, as the kids say.
I think does that wind that down?
It really does, because we all got back to the barn safely, and
Including Moriarty.
including Moriarty. I got David home and left a pile of half-track parts on his porch so I could get my $70.
What is it with half-track parts? I mean, I've got a bunch in my garage now, and I don't own a half-track.
A guy handed me a crisp $100 bill if I would transport half-track parts. All I had to do was make one phone call, tell the guy where to get them when they were in Pennsylvania. All I had to do was give Matt $20 for gas, David $10 for leaving him on his front porch, and I pocketed a clean $70 for making a phone call. It was a win-win
Sweet.
for me.
There we go.
And it was a win for the guy trying to ship them because each box was like 40 pounds, and it was like
They weren't
four
even
boxes.
in boxes. It was just the roll. It was the
Yes,
roller
it was-
wheels.
Yeah, if they were put in the boxes, each one would have been like 40 pounds, and it would have been
Yeah.
like $40-$50 to ship each one.
He could have handed me $20, and I would have been fine.
Oh yeah, because it was not out of any of our way at all.
No, and it really didn't. By that point, we had offloaded other stuff, so it really didn't do much to the fuel mileage.
Nah.
So it was a win for everybody because 3 out of the 4 of us ended up with money in our pockets over this deal.
So, in summation, Southbend, good, bad?
Bad.
There was a missile in the parking lot. I like that.
Yeah,
part.
okay. So, in summation, don't go to Southbend. Do go to
Auburn, Indiana.
Auburn, Indiana.
Take 2 days.
Yes, take 2 days.
Take 2 days,
Call me in the morning.
and if somebody offers you money to transport half-track parts, say yes. Correct?
Yeah, all you have to do is make one phone call. You can't lose.
There you go. So, remember those specific items.
There'll
And
be a test.
there will be a test later. We will actually track you through our listening apps and come to your house and ask you uncomfortable questions at 3 a.m.
Da tovarish.
Yes, absolutely. So, as always, we know you have other things that you could listen to, and you chose to listen to us, which really means a lot. Thank you very much. We see the numbers going up, and it's great.
I won't listen to me, though.
Cody won't listen to himself. So, as always, thank you for listening. And also, if any of this inspired you to think of a story that you would like to share, you can always send that to merlinsbarn@gmail.com or drop us a note through our Merlin's Barn Instagram account, or you can directly contact the Substack. We would absolutely love to hear from you. And with that, we're going to sign off. So, good night.
Good night.
Good night.